Hi, this is the voice of Dr. Derek L. Campbell. I am the founder and chief executive officer of DLC Consulting Group. Today I'm going to talk about our revolutionary boss leadership training program. Our program will save your business money by improving ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships. The program will reduce any diversity challenges that may exist between supervisors and employees in your business. The acronym BOSS, BOSS, stands for Bounded Organizational Systems Analysis Shared Vision Development that utilizes self-knowledge change process, which is designed to reduce the negative impact that ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships has on your business. Before we talk about how the BOSS program works, I would like to talk to you about how businesses lose money as a result of ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships. The first area is voluntary terminations. Researchers report that the employer is a major reason why people decide to voluntarily leave their job. People are apt to say that I am tired of working for them, him, or her, which involves a manager or supervisor. Voluntary termination is costly because there are separation, vacancy, and replacement costs associated with this type of separation. Separation costs include costs for exit interviews, related administrative costs, separation or severance pay, and unemployment compensation. Replacement costs include the cost of attracting new applicants, entrance, interview costs, testing, sometimes traveling and moving expenses for some employees, pre-employment administrative costs, medical exams, and information and dissemination and acquisition. Vacancy termination costs include increased costs to bring in temporary employees to complete the job. Now that we know that it can become costly for the business when an employee voluntarily leaves the job, let's look at how the perception of harassment from a supervisor can impact the workplace. Of course, workplace bullying can occur between coworkers or between the supervisor and the employee. If an employee complains that the supervisor talks to them in a loud and intimidating tone of voice, the employee can perceive this as harassment. We know that this can happen when a supervisor is giving an employee a directive or responding to employee questions. Workplace harassment has hidden and legal costs that can affect the culture of the business. A recent report indicated that workplace harassment costs Australian employers anywhere from $6 to $36 billion each year. Workplace harassment has an impact on the culture of the business by decreasing productivity, increasing staff absenteeism, increasing staff turnover rates, and therefore producing poor morale in the business. Finally, there are legal costs, workers' compensation, and a loss in management time that is needed to address workplace bullying. As you have heard, workplace harassment between a supervisor and employee can be costly. Ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships can also create a hostile work environment. If the boss is perceived as a bad boss, this can create a hostile workplace relationship for co-workers, employees, and independent contractors. In some cases, the boss may not realize that he or she is a bad boss. They may say, "This is what makes a good boss, so there is no need for me to change my way of doing things." Some say that supervisors who are considered bad bosses will ignore employees until there is a problem and then react to the employee by pouncing on them. They may speak loudly and rudely to employees, fail to provide employees with rewards or recognition for desired employee performance. They may also continually discuss negative events with employees as well as search only for fault in the employees. The supervisor may believe that this is what makes the employees more productive. Ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships have an impact on workplace violence. One of the major reasons for workplace violence is employer-directed. The Society for Human Resource Management, better known as SHRM, revealed that 67% of the incidents of workplace violence were employee to employee and, more importantly, employee to supervisor. Workplace violence also has a correlation to unfair treatment, hostile bias, and workplace diversity. Unfair treatment or the perception thereof is the top reason for workplace violence, which includes homicides. Workplace violence is also caused if an employee believes that the supervisor and employees hate them. Workplace diversity is also a cause for workplace violence. Supervisors have a great impact on whether the employee feels that they are treated unfairly. If they feel hostility from the supervisor, the employee may feel that it is because they are culturally different from their supervisor. Many supervisor-employee workplace relationships result in conflict. At the heart of the matter are differences in verbal and nonverbal behavior expectations, differences in individual beliefs and perceptions, inadequate coaching and feedback, employees believing that they are devalued, which results in the loss of trust between supervisors and employees. In summary, ineffective supervisor-employee workplace relationships can cause workplace violence, workplace bullying, a hostile work environment, and relationship conflicts on the job, which are all costly and can become detrimental to the business. Your business needs high-quality supervisor-employee workplace relationships to overcome the before mentioned challenges. You see, high-quality supervisor-employee workplace relationships have a positive correlation to employee job satisfaction. This ultimately impacts the business's bottom line productivity. Employees who are involved in effective supervisor-employee workplace relationships are more likely to be satisfied with their job, which will increase their business's productivity and business profits. The bigger problem is that in the past, businesses have depended on improving supervisor-employee relationships by one, reorganizing the company's structure, or receiving tips from various authors, or even following specified guidelines, or just reading and absorbing information. Some companies have focused only on communication. They believe that an employee cannot be successful on the job without knowing their job, or where to get tools or supplies, and receiving feedback on performance, or ensuring that the communication process begins when the employee starts a position. Businesses have also attempted to improve the supervisor-employee workplace relationships by using self-assessments, counseling, and follow-up memos. While these strategies have benefits, it is not enough. It is not enough because information alone will not create the desired results. The Boss Leadership Training Program will transform your culture into one that has exemplary supervisor-employee workplace relationships. The Boss Leadership Training Program uses a self-organizing system with three major components. The first step is to conduct a bounded organizational systems analysis. The second phase is to formulate a shared vision with a team of employees within the company. Finally, we implement the process which results in improved supervisor-employee workplace relationships. As we stated before, the BOSS, B-O-S-S, in Boss Leadership Training Program stands for Bounded Organizational Systems Analysis Shared Vision Development that utilizes self-knowledge change process. Now, the successful use of self-organizing systems is not new. Lee Iacocca used a self-organizing system with the Ford Motor Company. American Express Financial Systems used self-organizing systems to remain ahead of the competition. Southwest Airlines has also successfully used self-organizing systems. So the real question is, why must we use self-organizing systems? We have three major challenges when it comes to cultural conflicts in the workplace. The first is the power struggle that ensues between supervisors and employees. The second is what process will overcome the defensive routines that employees use when faced with supervisor challenges. The third is the challenges that unions can provide for businesses. This also results in defensive routines, blaming, accentuating the negative, and an assortment of behaviors that are detrimental to the organization. We begin the bounded organizational analysis by conducting interviews and a systems thinking evaluation. We interview supervisors and employees. We also evaluate to determine patterns and trends, and from that we develop a systemic structure and develop mental models. Next, we identify a chosen group of employees who work together to develop a shared vision. We provide them with the bounded organizational analysis, and in turn, they develop strategies that effectively promote positive supervisor-employee workplace relationships. I have told you about the revolutionary Boss Leadership Training Program. It can provide benefits for any business or organization. You can contact us at 856-566-3267 for more information, or visit our website at www.dlconsultantgroup.com. You can also email us at info@dlconsultinggroup.com.